Hello everyone, my name is Amos Nimas, and in this video I will make this video to introduce Linux to people who know nothing about Linux and why they should use it. So currently I am using Ubuntu, so I'm going to do a neo fetch to show you my system. Those are all the detail about my configuration that I use, including the name of my OS. Oh, I'm not using any, look at this, that's because I have a custom config, but it's based on Ubuntu, of course. And you have like my window manager, which is BSPWM, and my wallpaper and the terminal. Of course, the terminal is not good at showing graphics, but you can still do cool things with it, like CMatrix red, for example, which is one of my favorite commands to show off. When I want to show off stuff to people. So I can open like terminal like this. I can open like my folder like this. You have all like. That's interesting. That's the video that I'm making. It's already available as a file, even if the video isn't finished. That's a nice feature of OBS, the software I use to record my video. I can, of course, change the speed of the text. I'm going to use 9. I think it's the slowest setting for CMatrix. That's a completely useless program, by the way. You're never going to use it unless you want to impress people. And if you want to impress people, you could use, for example, the Cool Retro terminal, which is like an older looking terminal. And then you can, of course, use CMatrix again inside of the Cool Retro terminal. There's also Edex UI. I'm not even sure I have it installed. I don't. That's how I start program, by the way. One of my favorite is the GNU Image Manipulator software, which is like Photoshop but free, because everything on Linux is basically free. How do you install software on Linux? You can do sudo apt install and the name of your software that you want to install, like for example GIMP, and you press enter and it's gonna install it for you. That's amazing. Also, you can like ls to know what files are in the directory that you're in. You can go in a directory, for example, I can go in my file directory and I can do ls to see what files or directory are within that directory. I hope that wasn't too confusing. You can clear the screen, of course, to not be confused, and you can what else can you do in the terminal? You can combine program together to achieve things that you want to achieve. So for example, if I get the command ls, which will print my files, and I pipe it and do the command shuffle, shuff, there you go. What's the difference? Well, as you can see, there's an order to the file here, and there's a different order here. Shuffle will basically shuffle your file and directory, so you can use that to, for example, get a random directory or file within a directory. So if I pipe that, for example, into tail or head, and I tell it to only show me the first one with a plus, there you go. I don't know how to spell. That's why that was the problem. I don't even think I need the plus. There you go. So now if I use this command, it's gonna give me a different folder directory file that's in the local directory. So you can now make, so we have the command right here that we just used. You could make an aliases of this command so that you can like have a keywords that will execute this line of code. Or you could even make a script, which is basically turning this into a program that you can run, and then you can combine those programs made of smaller programs to make more complex program to automate tasks that you're too lazy to do. That's how powerful Linux can be. And if you understood that, you understood basically the power of Linux. I can also like open Firefox like this with a shortcut. I have my settings right here. I can control the volume of my system. I can type a number that I want on top, and it's gonna use it as a volume. There's other setting. I like my font that will change the font of my entire system, including the terminal. But I like the one I'm using currently, so I'm not gonna change my font. But I have multiple fonts pre-programmed into this. The alpha will change the transparency of my application, including the terminal. I'm gonna do a small demonstration. So now if I close the terminal and reopen it, it's not transparent because I probably removed the content renderer, which allows for transparency from my system, and probably to try to optimize my system. I'm not sure why I removed the option to have transparency, but basically if your system has a graphic render engine that allows for transparency, normally it would work. I'm not sure, maybe I just need to restart my computer. I think that's the problem. I think I need to restart my computer, and basically I can change the gap. I'm gonna show it to you because I know for a fact that the gap option will work. So if I go with 0 gap, as you can see, we no longer have gaps around my application. So if I open multiple applications, they don't have gaps, and I kind of like this. It's more optimized. If you want to focus on work, that's what you want. But if, like me, you want to have some style on your system and be able to focus more on the center of your display, then you could use some gaps. Gaps are nice. I do like them. Do they need to be big? Well, that's up to you. But when I use them, I like to have some pretty big gap in my application. What else do I have in my settings? I'm not gonna show them all to you. Mount is to mount like USB key and do backups and stuff. You get the gamma, which is basically the color or value of the pixel on your display. If you don't want to be blind, you can adjust that. Reduce like for example the red gamma, blue gamma. Basically customize your display. And yeah, that's basically Linux. Of course, in another video I showed you how you could move stuff around. Like, I'm not moving the text, I'm just moving the application. Maybe it's gonna be easier to understand if, for example, I use a GUI application and I move it around. So yeah, as you can see, I can move it around quite easily. It's not that hard a task once you get used to it, and I can make it a floating application, move it around. I don't even need to click on the bar on top, and I said that in another video. I know I'm repeating myself because maybe some people only saw this current video, so they don't know what I'm talking about. I can make stuff full screen, of course, make it back into tiling, floating, and go back into tiling. I can close it, of course, close this window. Without using the mouse, because yeah, of course I'm using the keyboard for almost everything, and that's how you should do things. I can have like something here, go on another workspace, have something there. How many OBS instances do I have open? I have no idea. So I could have my file here, my terminal here, and move from one workspace to the other. So I have like my recording software right here that I'm using to record this video. Why do I have 2 times my recording software? I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm gonna tell you right now, folks, I have no idea. And that's not it. That's not all. You can like have tabs inside of your terminal. So I could like type something and I'm on the same workspace. I just like have multiple tabs open on my terminal. So I could have one of them have CMatrix and the other doesn't, and I go back to the CMatrix one, and I can close the tab without closing the terminal, and I can have multiple terminal open with multiple tabs on multiple workspace. I can also have like emoji. I have an emoji keyboard, so I can put emojis into my terminal. Is that gonna be useful? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So that's it for this super quick short introduction to why Linux is so much superior and why you can customize everything. I didn't talk about like customization, how to make software, how to make your software better for automatization. I didn't talk about programming. If you combine programming with Linux, of course, you're gonna get great results. And of course, it all comes down to the time that you put in and hard work. I'm Amos Nimas, and see you later for another video like this one. Have a good day.